राम राम राम। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति यो वदेत् तस्य निस्सरते वाणी जह्नुकन्या प्रवाहवत्। राम राम राम। Like announced in the last class, today will be a practice session. Last week we did some time for practicing 1 to 40 slokas. We will continue it now from 41 till the based on the time we will continue. We'll chant few of the dhyana shlokas before we start the practice session. Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna ध्यायेत Sarva Vighnopashantaye Narayanan Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Vyasam Vasishthanaptaram Shakteः Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatantaponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Avikaraya Shuddhaya Nityaya Paramatmane Sadaikarupa Rupaya Vishnave Sarvajishnave. Atha Dhyanam Kshirodanvat Pradeshe Shuchimani Vilasatsaikate Moktikanam Mala Kliptasanastha Spatikamani Nibhair Moktikair Manditangaha Shubhrairabhrairadabrairuparivirachitais muktapiyushavarshaihi Anandinaha Puniyadarinalinagadha Shankhapanirmukundaha Bhuh Padau Vyasya Nabhirviyadasuranilashchandra Cha Netre Karnavasha Shirodyaurmukhamapi Dahano Yasya Vasteyamabdhihi Antasthain Yasya Vishwam Suranarakhago Bhogi Gandharva Daityaihi Chitram Ram Ramyate Tantribhuvana Vapusham Vishnumisham Namami Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shamtakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharang Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantang Kamalanayanam Yogi Hridhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham Meghashyamam Pita-kausheya-vasam Srivatsankam Kaustubhodbhasitangam Punyopetam Pundarikayataaksham Vishnu Vande Sarvalokaikanaatham Namah Samasta Bhutanam Adibhutaya Bhubhrite Aneka Rupa Rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Sashankha Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sapita Vastram Sarasiruhekshanam Sahara Vakshasthala Shobhi Kaustubham Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam Chayayam Parijatasya Hema Simhasanopari Asinamam Budashyamam Ayatakshamalankritam Chandrananam Chaturbahum Srivatsankita Vakshasam. रुक्मिणी सत्यभामाभ्यां सहितं कृष्णमाश्रये। ओम विश्वस्मै नमः। विश्वं विष्णुर्वषट्कारः भूतभव्यभवत्प्रभुः भूतकृद्भूतभृद्भावः भूतात्मा भूतभावनः. People who want to practice can raise your hands. We will start from there. From 41st shloka. Yeah, there was one question. I guess the 42nd shloka is still not corrected. Yeah, I will remind and I will try to ensure that by next class this is corrected. This is parardhihi. I will try to correct that by next class. I thought it was done. I'm sorry, my mistake. I will ensure I will correct that by next class. Dhanyawadaha. So with that, we will come here. So again, request is if you have got a chance in last class, maybe give chance for others to chant. But however, in the later part, I guess there are many other people also. We can get second chance and we can start raising hands after a few shlokas are done. Okay, with that we will start. Yes, first one is Swati Hishopkar. Udbhavah Kshobhano Devah.
उद्धवः क्षोभणो देवः श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
Uttama. Next is Divya Tantri. Please go after chanting. You can go on mute. Thank you. Divya Mantri. Vyavasayo.
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्तानदो ध्रुवः परर्दिः परमस्पष्टः तुष्टुप् पुष्टुप् शुभेक्षणः.
Two observation. One on the Mahapranas, you can stress little more. Vyavasthanah, samsthanah, sthanado dhruvah. That's one. And in the second line, tushtaha, pushtaha, subhekshanah. Parardih paramaspashtaha, tuштah, puштah, subhekshanah. It is not tuштah. Dhanyawadaha.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Shobha Latamani. Next shloka. Ramo Viramo.
Ram Mahodaya. Ramo Viramo Virataha Margo Neyanayo Nayaha Virashaktimatam Shresthaha Dharmo Dharma Viduttamaha.
Uttara. Next is Pravina Chauhan. Vaikuntha.
वैकुण्ठः पुरुषः प्राणः प्राणदः प्रणवः पृथुः हिरण्यगर्भः शत्रुघ्नः व्याप्तो वायुरधोक्षजः.
Uttara. Next is Kirtana Ratnadhar. Rutuhu.
ऋतु सुदर्शनः कालः परमेष्टि परिग्रहः उग्रः संवत्सरो दक्षः विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणः.
Dr. Ravi Shankar. Vistarah.
नमांसि महोदय श्रूयते वा?
श्रूयते वदन्तु.
विस्तारस्थावरस्थाणुः प्रमाणं बीजमव्ययम् अर्थोऽनर्थो महाकोशो महाभोगो महाधनः.
Uttamam.
धन्यवादः.
Next is Premaj. Anirvinnaha.
अनिर्विण्णस्तविष्टो भूर्धर्मयूपो महामकः नक्षत्रनेमिर्नक्षत्री शमक्षामः समीहनः.
Small observation in the first line. Anirvinnaha sthavishto bhuhu dharmayupo mahamakha. If you say bhur, you should not split that. Anirvinnastha vishtor bhur dharmayupo mahamakah.
Visto guhu dharmayupo mahamakah.
Uttama. That's all. Dhanavadaha. Next is Manasi Devnath. Yajno Ijjo.
नमस्ते महोदय यज्ञो मयेजश्च क्रतुः
I can't hear.
सत्रं सतां गतिः सर्वदर्शनम्.
Okay, I guess network issue. I couldn't hear you very clearly, but I guess whatever I heard, that was correct. There was no correction there. Uttaram. Next is Bhargavi Harsur. Same shloka. Yajna Ijjo. Oh, Kshamita, I didn't do this. Bhargavi Bhagini, you can chant now.
Yes, sir. Yajna ijyavahijyascha kratuh satram satagatihi sarvadarshi vimuktatma sarvajño jnanamuttamam.
Uttama. Natarajan Iyer. Suvrataha.
सुव्रतः सुमुखः सूक्ष्मः सुघोषः सुखदः सुहृत् मनोहरोजितक्रोधः वीरबाहुर्विदारणः.
Uttama.
धन्यवाद.
Next is Geeta Advani. Swapanaha. No, you're not able to. Okay, you can unmute now. Geeta Bhagini. Swapanaha Swavasho. Okay, I guess Uma Devi is unmuted. Please go ahead.
स्वापनस्ववशो व्यापी नैकात्मा नैककर्मकृत् वत्सरो वत्सलो वत् राम राम स्वापनस्ववशो व्यापी नैकात्मा नैककर्मकृत् वत्सरो वत्सलो वत्सी रत्नगर्भो धनेश्वरः.
Uttama. Next is Naina Lutra. Dharmagub.
धर्मगुब्धर्मकृद् धर्मी तदसत्क्षरमक्षरम् अविज्ञात सहस्रांशुः विधाता कृतलक्षणः.
Uttama. Vijay Lakshmi G. Ashok. Gabhastinemihi. Vijay Lakshmi Bhagini. You are on mute if you're chanting, so you have to unmute yourself and chant.
Ram 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 Guruji.
Ram Ram Ram. Please go ahead.
Gabhastinemi satvastah simho bhutamaheshwarah adi devo mahadevah devesho devabhrit guruhu.
Uttama. Next is Annapurna. Uttaro.
Uttaro goptir gopta jnanagamya puradhanah sharira bhudhabrit bhokta kabindro bhuri dakshinah.
Now only in the first line it is Uttaro Gopatir Gopta. It's not Gopti. Gopatir Gopta. Dhanyavada. Next is Sambhavi. Somapomritapaha.
Somapomritapas मृतपः सोमः पुरुजित्पुरुषत्तमः विनयो जयः सत्यसन्धः दाशार्
I couldn't hear full. Dasharha.
दाशार्हः सात्वतां पतिः
Uttam. Next is Tejaswini. Jivo Vinayita.
जीवो विनयिता साक्षी मुकुंदो मितविक्रमः अम्बो निधिर्नन्तात्मा महोदधिशो युताङ्कः
Mahodadhishayontakaha.
महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः
Uttam. Then same Ambho. Wherever Mahaprana is there, you can stress little more. Mukundo Mitavikramaha. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवाद
Shalini Tiwari. Ajo Maharha.
अजो महार्हः स्वाभाव्यः जिता मित्रः प्रमोदनः आनन्दो नन्दनो नन्दः सत्यधर्मा त्रिविक्रमः
Jyoti Maharshihi.
महर्षिक् कपिलाचार्यः कृतघ्नो मेदनीपतिः त्रिपदस्त्रिदशाध्यक्षः महाशृङ्गः कृतान्तकृत.
In first line it is Medini Patihi. Medini Patihi. Dhanyavadaha.
What did I say, Guruji?
I heard it as Medani Patihi.
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah, I also felt that.
Patihi. Okay.
Correct.
Dhanyavadaha.
I also felt I did that.
Okay. Somebody else started. I'm not sure if I unmuted somebody else. Okay, anyhow, we'll move on. Next is Hiralal Jhade. Mahavaraho.
महावराहो गोविन्दः सुषेणः कनकाङ्गदी गुह्यो गभीरो गहनः गुप्तश्चक्रगदाधरः.
Uttam. Next is Sharada.
वेदस्वं स्वाङ्गोजितः कृष्णः दृढः सङ्कर्षणोच्युतः वरुणो वारुणो वृक्षः कराक्षो महामनाः.
उत्तम. धन्यवादः. पूर्णचंद्र श्रीधर. भगवान.
राम राम राम. भगवान भगहानंदी वनमाली हलायुधः आदित्यो ज्योतिरादित्यः सहिष्णुर्गतिसत्तमः.
उत्तम. उमा घंटी.
सुधन्वा खंड परशुर्दारुणो द्रविणप्रदः दिवस्पृक् सर्वदिव्यासो वाचस्पतिरयो निजः.
Next is Anita Nair. Trisama.
त्रिसामा सामगः सामा निर्वाणं भेषजं वृषक संन्यासकृच्छमः शान्तः निष्ठा शान्तिः परायणम्.
उत्तमम्. अनिरुद्ध. शुभांगः.
शुभांगः शान्तिदस्रष्टा कुमुदः कुवलेशयः गोहितो गोपतिर्गोप्ता वृषभाक्षो वृषप्रियः.
उत्तम. अमृता राजकुमार. अनिवर्ती.
नमस्कारं सर. अनिवर्ती निवृत्तात्मा
संक्षेप्ताक्षेमकृच्छिवः श्रीवत्सवक्षा श्रीवत्सवक्षा श्रीवासः श्रीपतिः श्रीमताम्बरः.
Next is Jayashri Rudrapatna. More people can raise hands. More people can raise hands. Yeah, please go ahead.
श्रीधर श्री षट्श्री निवास श्रीनिधि श्री विभावनः श्रीधर श्री करेय श्रीमान लोकत्रयाश्रयः.
Uttam. Next is Shri Lata. Sakshaswangaha.
Is it the 66th one, sir, which I have to?
Correct, yes.
स्वक्षस्वङ्गशतानन्दः नन्दिर्ज्योतिर्गणेश्वरः विजितात्मा विधेयात्मा सत्कीर्तिश्चिन्न संशयः.
Next is Sheila Tirugnanam. Udirnaha.
उदीर्णः सर्वदस्यु अनीशः शाश्वतः स्थिरः भूषयो भूषणो भूदिः विशोगनाशनः.
Only one small observation on the first line. Udirnaha sarvatash chakshuhu. Sarvatah chakshuhu. Sarvatash chakshuhu.
Sarvatash chakshu.
Correct. That's correct.
Thank you.
Next is Sarita Garg. Archishmanarchitah.
अर्चिष्मानर्चितः कुम्भः विशुद्धात्मा विशोधनः अनिरुद्धो प्रतिरथः प्रद्युम्नो मितविक्रमः. Someone else is also chanting.
Correct. Yes. Please, others, please mute yourself after your chanting.
Can I chant it again?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. अर्चिष्मान अर्चितः कुंभ विशुद्धात्मा विशोधनः अनिरुद्धो प्रतिरथः प्रद्युम्नो मितविक्रमः.
Next is Jyoti Mantri. Kalaneminih.
कालनेमिनिः वीरः शौरिशूरजनेश्वरः त्रिलोकात्मा त्रिलोकेशः केशवः केशिहा हरिः.
Uttam. Asha Suresh. Kamadevah.
कामदेवः कामपालः कामिकान्तः कृतागमः अनिदेशवपु विष्णुः वीरोऽनन्तो धनञ्जयः.
Somebody else is still chanting. Please mute yourself. Please remember to mute yourself after your chanting. Dhanyavadaha. Next is Madhubala. Brahmanyo. Madhubala Bhagini. Brahmanyo. Maybe it's not possible. Sujata Bhatt. Brahmanyo Brahmakrit Brahma. Hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brahmanyo Brahmanyo Brahmakrit Brahma 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 Vivardhanaha Brahmavid Brahmano Brahmi Brahmagno Brahmana Priyaha.
Okay. So one observation is either you say Brahma or Brahma and be consistent. Every time you have to be saying the same thing. Brahmanyo, Brahmakrit, Brahma. Or if you say Brahma, of course, again, as I said, there are both ways of chanting. We are following here Brahmanyo. Brahma is what we say. But if you let's say in your Guru Parampara, if you heard it as Brahma, it should be Brahmanyo, Brahmakrit, Brahma. That's how we have to kind of do it. You have to stick on to any one, either one of it. Dhanyawad.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Dhanyawad.
Next is Chaya Vaidya.
You have not given me turn.
Who is
Mahakramo
this?
Sujata Bhatt.
Please go ahead. Mahakramo.
Mahakramo Mahakarma Mahateja Mahoragaha Mahakrotur Mahayajva Mahayajno Mahahavihi.
Uttama.
Dhanyawad. Dhanyawad.
Next, I called out somebody. I forgot the name
Yes,
now.
you had called me, Guruji.
Please go ahead. Stavyastava Priyaha.
Stavyastava priya stotram stutisstotarana priyaha purnaf purayita punyaf punyakirtiranamayaha.
Uttam. Next is Lakshmi Narayana Bastikar. Manojavasti Thakaraha. Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan Mahodaya.
नमस्ते महोदय श्रूयते किल
आमां श्रूयते वदन्तु
मनोजवस्तीर्थकर वसुरेता वसुप्रदः वसुप्रदो वासुदेवः वसुर्वसुमना हविः
उत्तमं धन्यवादः श्रीनिका सतीश सद्गतिः
सद्गति सत्कृति सत्था सद्भूति सत्परायणः सूरसेनो यदुश्रेष्ठ सन्निवासः सुयामुनः.
In the first line, Sadgatihi, it is not Sadgatihi, it is, there is no Mahaprana there. Sadgatis, Satkritis, Satta, all are Alpa Pranas.
Sadgati, Satkriti, Satta, Sadbhuti, Satparayanaha.
Correct. In the second line, Churaseno, Yadushreshtaha, Visarga is there. Visarga, I guess I missed. Okay, Dhanyavadaha. Next is Kamini Subbaraman. Bhutavaso.
Bhutavaso Vasudevah Sarvasu Nilayo Nalaha Darbaha Darbato Triptaha Durdaro Daparajitaha.
Uttama. Next is Raj Chitra. More people can raise hands. Vishwamurtihi.
Vishwamurtir Mahamurtihi Deeptamurtiramurtiman Aneka Murtiravyaktaha Sadamurti Sadananaha.
Uttam. Next is Sangeeta. Eko Naikaha.
Eko Naika Sava Kim Yattat Padamud Yattat Padamanuttamam.
Others, please go on mute, please. You can start once. You can start again. Eko Naikaha.
Okay, sir. Eko Naikaha Sava Kim Yattat Tadapadut Padamanuttamam. Loka Bandhur Lokanataha Madhavo Bhaktavatsalaha.
Next is Krishna Prasad. Suvarnavarno.
Suvarnavarno Hemangah Varangascha Danandagadi Viraha Vishamasunyah Ghrita Shirachalas.
Okay. Now I see that there is no one else who has raised hands. I'm assuming that all of you have got chance to chant.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Uttama. Amani manado.
Amani manado manyah lokaswami trilokadrika सुमेधा मेधजोधन्यः सत्यमेधा धराधरः.
Uttam. Next is Krishna Ramesh. Tejo Vrusho.
तेजो वृषो दुतिधरः सर्वशत्रुभृतांवरः प्रग्रहो निग्रहो व्यग्रः नैकशृङ्गो गदाग्रजः.
Uttam. Next is Sunita. Chaturmurtihi.
चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुः चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावः चतुर्वेदविदेकपात्.
Uttam. Next is Padmakshi. Samavarto.
समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गः दुरावासो दुरारिहा.
Uttam. I again request everyone to other people who is not chanting, please be on mute. Dhanyavadah. Next is Pratibha. Shubhango. Is this Pratibha? Looks like somebody else. There are so many people who are not muted. I request please to mute yourself. Pratibha, again, please go ahead. Shubhango loka sarangaha. Pratibha, you are unmuted. You have to chant the shloka. I'm not able to hear. Yeah, maybe some issue there. Sarayu. Shubhango loka sarangaha.
शुभांगो लोकसारंगः सुतंतु स्तंतुवर्धनः इंद्रकर्मा महाकर्मा कृतकर्मा कृतागमः.
Shivalingam. Udbhavah.
उद्भवः संदु रत्ननाभः सुलेक्षः आगर्गो व्यासनः शृंगी जन्तः सर्वविजयः.
I will teach once. Maybe you can repeat after me. Udbhavah sundara sundaha.
Udbhava sundara sundaha.
Ratnanabha sulochanah.
Ratnanabha sulochanah.
Arko vajasana shringi.
Argo vajasana shringi.
Jayantas sarva vijjayi.
Jayantas sarva vijjayi.
Sarva vijjayi.
Sarva vijjayi.
Uttam.
Dhanyavada.
Okay, now I'm going to lower everyone's hands. Whoever wants to chant, let's say, a second time, maybe you can raise your hand. Okay, I guess there are some people there. Okay, now this goes little. Okay, Jayashri. Suvarnabindu.
सुवर्णबिन्दु रक्षोभ्यः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वरः महारथो महागर्तो महाभूतो महानिधिः.
Uttamam. Please mute yourself. Sambhavi. Kumudah kundarah.
कुमुदः कुन्दरः कुन्दः परजन्यः परजन्यः पावनोन्निलः अमृतांशोऽमृतवपुः सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखः.
In the first line it is Parjanyah. Kumudah kundarah kundah Parjanyah pavano nilah.
कुमुदः कुन्दरः कुन्दः पर्जन्यः पावनो नीलः.
Dhanyavadah. Next is Purna Chandra. You can unmute and chant the next shloka. Sulabhaha. You have to unmute yourself. Pratibha Bhagini, I guess you're trying to unmute and chant, but I'm not able to hear if you are still chanting. So I'm muting because I'm not able to hear. Purna Chandra. Sulabha Suvrataha Siddhaha.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ram Ram Ram. Sulabha Suvrata Siddhaha Shatrujit Shatrutapanaha Negro Dodumbaro Shvattaha Chanurandra Nishudanaha.
Uttama. Next, you can lower your hands. Next is Dr. Ravi Shankar. Sahasrachihi.
श्रूयते वा महोदय?
आम्, श्रूयते.
सहस्रार्चिः सप्तजिह्वः सप्तैधा सप्तवाहनः अमूर्तिरनघोचिन्त्यो भयकृद्भयनाशनः.
उत्तमम्.
धन्यवादः.
मानसी देवनाथ. अनर्बृहत्कृशस्थूलः. You can unmute yourself and chant. Manasi Devnath. Maybe not possible. Bhargavi.
Namaste Mahodaya. Namaste Mahodaya.
Please go ahead. Anurbrihat Krishaha.
Anurbrihat Krishastulaha Gunabrunnirguno Mahan Adrutasvadrutasvasyaha Pragvamsho Vamshavardhanaha.
Uttamam. Next is Bhargavi. Bharabhrit Kathito.
भारभृत् कथितो योगी योगीशः सर्वकामदः आश्रमश्रमणः क्षामः सुपर्णो वायुवाहनः.
Sing the second line. Ashramashramanaha kshamaha. If the visarga is followed by ksha, we have to split that. Ashramashramanaha kshamaha suparno vayuvahanaha.
Thank you.
Next is Uma Ganti. Dhanurdharo.
Oh, unmute. Okay, sorry. Dhanurdharo dhanurvedo dando damayita damaha aparajita sarvasaho niyanta niyamo yamaha.
Next is, you can mute yourself. Next is Sarita Garg. Sattvavan. Sarita Garg. Sarita Bhagini. Sattvavan Sattvikaha.
सत्वान् सात्विकः सत्यः सत्यधर्मपरायणः अभिप्रायः प्रियार्होर्हः प्रियकृत् प्रीतिवर्धनः.
उत्तमम्. मधुबाला. विहाय सगतिर्ज्योतिः.
विहाय सगतिर्ज्योतिः सुरुचिहृद् भुग्विभुः रविर्विरोचनः सूर्यः सविता रविलोचनः.
In the first line it is Suruchirhuta Bhug Vibhuhu.
Suruchirhuta Bhug Vibhuhu.
Correct.
Okay, sir?
Krishna Ramesh. Correct.
Thank you.
Krishna Ramesh. Ananto Huta Bhugbhokta.
Ananto Huta Bhugbhokta Shukado Naikajogrha Naikajogrgaja Anirvirna Sadamarshi Loka Dishtana Matputaha.
In the first line it is Naikajo Grajaha. Sukhado Naikajo Grajaha.
अनंतो हुत बुद्धोता सुखदो नैकजो गृजः अनिर्विण्ण
That's enough.
सदामर्षि.
It's okay. No problem. Others will
Okay,
get
sir.
chance to. Next
Thank you.
is Geeta Advani. Sanat Sanatanatamah. Geeta Bhagini.
Bata.
Not able to hear you, Geeta. Geeta Advani. You can unmute and chant the shloka. Next is Annapurna. Sanat Sanatanatamah.
सनात् सनातनमतः कपिलः कपिरव्ययः स्वस्तितः स्वस्तिकृत् स्वस्ति स्वस्तिभुक् स्वस्ति दक्षिणः.
In the first line it is Sanat Sanatanatamah. Natamah. Sanat Sanatanatamah. And in the second line Swastidah Swastikrit Swasti. Dhanyavadaha. Next is Chaya Vaidya. Araudraha.
अरौद्रः कुण्डली चक्री विक्रम्यूर्जितशासनः शब्दातिगः शब्दसः शिशिरः शर्वरीकरः.
Next is Nena Lutra. Akruraha. Akrurah Peshalo Nena Lutra. You can unmute and chant.
अक्रूरः पेशलो दक्षः दक्षिणः शमिणां वरः विद्वत्तमो वीतभयः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः.
Uttam. Next is Vedavalli. Uttarano Dushkritiha.
उत्तारणो दुष्कृतिः पुण्यो दुःस्वप्नाशनः वीरः रक्षणः सन्तः जीवनः पर्यवस्थितः.
In the first line it is Duswapna Nashanaha. There are two nas there. Duswapna Nashanaha. Correct.
उत्तारणो दुष्कृतिः पुण्यो दुःस्वप्ननाशनः वीरः रक्षणः सन्तः जीवनः पर्यवस्थितः.
Tejaswini. Anantarupo Namtashrihi.
अनन्तरूपो नन्तश्री झित मन्युभर युपः चतुरश्रो गभीरात्मा विदेशो व्यादिशो दिशः.
In the first line Jitamanyurbhayapaha. Jitamanyuhu bhayapaha. Jitamanyurbhayapaha.
जितिर्मन्युभयापहः.
Jitamanyurbhayapaha.
जितमन्युर्भयापहः.
Uttam. Next is Shobha Latamani. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Anadirбhurбhuvo.
अनादिर्भूर्भुवो लक्ष्मीः सुवीरो रुचिराङ्गदः जननो जनजन्मादिः भीमो भीमपराक्रमः.
Uttam. Shalini Tiwari. Adharanilayo dhata.
आधारनिलयो धाता पुष्पहासः प्रजागरः ऊर्ध्वगः सत्पथाचारः प्राणदः प्रणवः पणः.
Next is Padmakshi. Pramanam Prananilayah.
प्रमाणं प्राणनिलयः प्राणभृत् प्राणजीवनः तत्त्वं तत्त्वविवेकात्मा जन्म
Next is Sheila Tirugyanam. Bhurбhuvah.
भूर्भुवस्वस्तरुत्स्थारः सविता प्रविधामहः यज्ञो यज्ञपतिर्यज्वा यज्ञाङ्गो यज्ञवाहनः.
It is Yajna, not Yajna. Yajna.
Yajna.
Yajna. Yajno Yajnapatir Yajva. Next is Anita Nair. Others, please mute, please. Others mute except Anita Nair. Anita Nair, please go ahead. Yajna Brit.
Yajna Brit, Yajna Krit, Yajni, Yajna Bhuk, Yajna Sadhanaha, Yajnanta Krit, Yajna Guhyam, Annamannada Evacha.
Next is Sarayu. Atmayonihi.
Atmayonihi Swayanjato Vaikana Samagayanaha Devaki Nandana Srishta Kshitisha Papana
Kshitisha Papanashanaha.
Kshitisha Papanashanaha.
Next is Jyoti Mantri. Shankha Bhrannandaki.
Shankha Bhrannandaki Chakri Thyaranga Dhanva Gadadhara Rathanga Pani Rakshobhya Sarva Praharana Yudha.
In the first line, it is Sharanga. Shankha Bhrannandaki. Correct. Sharanga Dhanva.
Sharanga Dhanva.
Correct. Okay. With that, we will stop the practice. Next sloka I will chant. And then from the next class, we will continue with this one. Vanamali Gadi Sharngi Shankhi Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Bhirakshatu. Vanamali Gadi Sharngi Shankhi Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Bhirakshatu. Vanamali Gadi Sharngi Shankhi Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Bhirakshatu. Shri Vasudevo Bhirakshatu Namayiti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve samtu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyamtu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, kale varshatu parjanyah, prithvi sasya shalini, deshoyam kshobarahitah, brahmanas samtu nirbhayah, swasti prajabhyah paripalayamtam, न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. धन्यवादः. If anyone has any questions on the pronunciation, you can stay back and ask the question. Others can leave. I will see some questions. Request you to do the recording offline, not during the course. Noise can get in the way otherwise. Not sure which recording. Oh, if we are referring to the recording of this one, okay, we'll keep that in mind. I'm not able to unmute, so maybe some network issue. How many times should Vanamali Shloka be recited? Usually it is 3 times. It is chanted. Some people also chant 8 times. Some people also do it only once. Depends, but usually it is 3 times. Okay, if there are any other questions, you can unmute and you can ask, or you can type your questions.
I have a question, Guruji. Last time one lady had told about some slokas which was on YouTube. So it has to be done on the home page. I think it was from 25 to 35.
Correct. Yes, I have told them. So it is not done yet. Maybe by next week it should be. It will be done. Yes, it is from 25 to 30.
And
Sure.
the other thing is the revision of the dhyana slokas. I would appreciate if that also is taken. The first 8 pages before the Vishnu Sahasranama starts, because that is a little tough. I'm finding for myself.
Sure, I will chant it once in the during the class so that it can be there and the recordings will come. Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
like once
Yes.
you and once the panelist, if that is done, I think it will give a
Sure.
thorough revision. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Mahodaya.
Ram Vadat.
Ram Mahodaya. Mahodaya, in the 78th shloka, can you please say the first pada alone?
78.
78th.
This is the shloka.
Yes, Mahodaya, the first pada.
Eko naikasavah kim yattat padamanuttamam. Eko naikaha savaha kaha kim. Eko naikasavah kim yattat padamanuttamam. I request all others to be on mute. Okay. If others have any other questions, you can unmute and ask your questions.
I have a question.
Please
Okay,
go ahead.
So on a dhyana shloka, so when do we do the division like bhuh padau yasya? And then there is like.
You mean to say when do we pass? Where do we pass?
When do we pause? Yeah.
Okay.
In the second one.
Okay. Ideally, you should tell the full line together. Bhuh padau yasya nabhirviyada suranilaschandra suryau cha netre karnavasha shirodyaurmukhamapi dahano yasya vasteyamabdhi. That's how. Depends on the breath. If you are able to take that long breath, please take it. Otherwise, bhuh padau yasya nabhirviyada suranilaschandra suryau cha netre. That's how we can play it in any word. But
so you can pause 3 times in between?
Yeah, ideally 2 times. Ideally 2 times. Bhuh padau yasya nabhirviyada suranilaschandra suryau cha netre karnavasha shirodyaurmukhamapi dahano yasya vasteyamabdhihi. Like that, 2 times is okay.
Okay, thank you.
But try to, as much as possible, try practicing it if you can tell in one breath. Antasthai yasya vishwam suranara khagago bhogi gandharva daityai Chitram ramyate tantribhuvana vapusham Vishnu mishan namami. Like that. Try practicing, you will get at some point of time. Dhanyavada.
Thank you.
Guruji, can you just repeat the Shiro Dhanvat? Can you just recite that first dhyanam, please?
Shiro Dhanvat Pradeshe Shuchimani Vilasat Saikate Mauktikanam Mala Kliptasanasthaha Sphatika Nibhair Mauktikir Manditangaha Shubhrairabhrairadabrhairupari virachitair muktapiyusha varshai Anandinaha Puniyadari Nalinagada Shankhapanir Mukundaha.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, with that we'll stop our class today.
One last question.
Sure, go ahead.
This particular shloka, which was just chanted, Anandi, do we say just naha or we can combine it and say naf?
Anandinah puniyadari nalina gada shankhapanir mukundaha. We can say enough puni. I was splitting just for the pronunciation, for the breath, that's all. We can say Anandinah puniyadari.
So the same thing can be done for second line also. Mala klupta sanastas.
Mala klupta sanastas phatika mani nibhair mauktikayir manditangaha. Yes, of course.
For that, the breath control has to be perfect. Then only you can do it, right?
Correct. Practice a bit and then you should be.
Okay, thank you.
Dhanyawadaha. Ram. We'll meet in the next class.